You put out this tweet which seems to show a DVD, and I'll put it up on the screen. You write, a picture is worth 1,000 words. How many words is this worth? Question mark. Hashtag 60 minutes, hashtag please deny it, hashtag basta. So tell our viewers what you're teasing exactly.
Well, I'm not teasing anything, Wolf. That DVD contains evidence substantiating the relationship. And the tweet is a warning shot. I want to be really clear about this. It is a warning shot. And it's a warning shot to Michael Cohen and anyone else associated with President Trump that they better be very, very careful after Sunday night relating to what they say about my client and what spin or lies they attempt to tell the American people. But make no mistake about it, it is a warning shot.
So can we assume that that DVD contains evidence to back up Stormy Daniels' position?
Yes.
And can you give us a little example, some examples of what's on the DVD?
I'm not going to give any further examples or say any more than what I've said. I think I've been crystal clear.
Well, I just want to be precise also. You're only going to release it if there are denials following the 60 Minutes program. Is that right?
I didn't say that. What I've said is it is a warning shot. People better be honest, because they haven't been honest in the past, relating to this relationship, relating to the bullying tactics, relating to the threats and the intimidation, period. It is time to come clean. Basta, as they say, enough with the nonsense.
You say people better be honest. Who are you talking about?
Well, I think I've been pretty clear, Wolf. Michael Cohen, the president, surrogates of the president, Keith Schuller, who absolutely knows where all the bodies are buried, whether it be with my client, Ms. McDougal, or others. I mean, he is a treasure trove of information, no doubt, and the list goes on and on. So anyone that's going to come out and attack my client or her credibility, they better be really careful in what they say, and they better be 100% honest with the American people.
Otherwise, you'll release that DVD?
Look, I think I've been clear, Wolf, in our position. We want people to start telling the truth as it relates to my client and what she's been put through and what happened. It's just that simple. We've been consistent for weeks. We want the American people to have all of the facts. To the extent the president or Michael Cohen have a separate set of facts or a separate narrative, let them come forward and tell the American people that. But we demand one thing and one thing only, and that is the truth. This is a search for the truth, period.
How should people know there's anything on that DVD?
I'm sorry?
How should people know there's anything on that DVD?
Well, if people think I'm bluffing, they should ask the opponents in countless cases I've had over the last 15 years if I'm generally a guy that bluffs.
All right, well, that's a fair point. Let's talk about the buildup to this 60 Minutes interview. What happens next after it airs Sunday night? What are the next steps in this case?
Well, there's going to be a number of steps that are going to occur in the case, Wolf, and I want to be really clear about something. While certainly there's some salacious details relating to this relationship, and certain people among the citizens of the American public or citizens of America are interested in the details relating to the sex, if you will, between my client and Mr. Trump, there's a whole other part of this that, in our view, is far more important. And that other part relates to the intimidation and the bullying tactics and, quite frankly, the cover-up that has occurred relating to this $130,000 payment, the misstatements that Mr. Cohen has attempted to tell the American public and the media, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. The 60 Minutes interview is not the end by any stretch of the imagination.
Can you name names? Who intimidated? Who threatened?
I think, again, Wolf, as I've made clear over the last few days, my client's going to speak to that on 60 Minutes. I don't know what CBS ultimately is going to include or not include. I've had no editorial control over the piece. As you know, what they include or not include is entirely up to them, but I'm confident that after Sunday night, the American public is going to come away with a very different view of what my client has been through and her credibility. That I am sure of.
Has Michael Cohen or anyone in the Trump orbit actually reached out to you or to 60 Minutes, as far as you know, to try to stop the interview from airing?
Not that I know of.
You wrote letters to the Trump Organization yesterday asking them to preserve records related to that $130,000 payment that Michael Cohen made to your client just a few days before the presidential election. Have you received a response?
We haven't received a response. We don't expect a response. We are hopeful that they're busy preserving those documents and those records, which we believe are going to show there's been a concentrated cover-up, and the statements that have been made by Mr. Cohen and others are patently false.
Your client, Ann Karen McDougal, the Playboy model, shared the same lawyer, at least at the beginning, Keith Davidson. He brokered their deals that have kept them quiet. Do you believe he acted in good faith on behalf of your client?
I'm not going to comment on that issue at this time, Wolf, but what I will say is that I would have done things quite a bit differently.
Was it just a coincidence that both of these women had the same attorney?
I can't speak to that.
You haven't asked your client about that?
Well, I'm not going to get into what I've asked my client about.
All right, let me have you listen to McDougal's response to a question last night from Anderson Cooper about your client's relationship with President Trump. Listen to this exchange.
When you've heard the stories of Stormy Daniels, who has come forward, who said that she was at the Tahoe club as well, and others who said that they were there, you didn't know about that at the time?
No, I did not know.
What did you think when you heard that?
My first thought was, how could she have been with him when I was with him? The only time we weren't together on that particular trip was when he was on the golf course golfing. I didn't go, clearly. But I went to every event, every after thing, parties, daytime things. I was there. That's why I can't understand.
Michael, what's your response to that?
Well, my response is that I think that my client is credible when she describes the events that took place in Lake Tahoe in 2006. I believe the American people are going to find her credible. She passed a lie detector test in 2011 during which this specific question was asked. I can't speak to Ms. McDougal's recollection of events, et cetera. I'm sure she believes she's telling the truth when she gave that statement or that answer to Anderson Cooper. That's my response.
Michael Avenatti, thanks so much for joining us.